Hello and welcome to the first episode of Left-Handed with a Lot to Say. Yes, Lott with two T's, like my last name. And I'm your host, James Lott Jr. And I'm doing this little experiment where I'm talking to people of all walks of life who are left-handed, like I am. And I've been posting like on TikTok and other platforms, left-handed videos, and people are going wild. So I thought, let's talk to folks with their experiences from where it didn't matter to them to their lives were ruined. I want to talk about everything in between. So we're going to talk about all kinds of people. And she's the first person we're talking to with my left-handed mug. Left-handed mug. And I'll post it online, of course. But she's many things. She's like me. We have our hands, our tentacles and stuff. She's a marketing person, acting, producing, I'm sure directing, writing, all kinds of stuff. But a lot of people know her from The Bay. My folks at The Bay who created that great digital series. She's from there from several seasons of that show. I know Gregory and Christos and Ron, and I know everybody on that series. So I'm happy to actually talk, because we follow each other online. I'm going to talk to Mandy Denaux. Hi, Mandy.
Hello. So glad to be here.
Welcome. I was saying, I love your glasses. They're very cute.
Thank you. This is so I don't have to put on makeup, really.
we are at home, folks. This is like real life.
This is my accessory.
I normally have a shaved head.
Because these are just readers. I don't have prescription. But I like them. Now that I'm looking at the screen so close all the time.
Yes.
That I decided I needed some fun glasses. So
I got mine off to watch the screen. That's how crazy old age is. It's like you have to take them off. Take them off and put them on. I just have those things around my neck. It's always like, where's my glasses at? And that's like my grandmother. Where's my glasses at? Where are they?
On your head.
I should do that too. Now I got hair. I could, but see, before I had a shaved head, so I couldn't really do anything. Now I guess it could plant in there somewhere. Let's see something.
Look.
Oh yeah, look there. Well, tilt to the side. I don't know how much. Anyway, yes. All of the glasses. This is not the glasses podcast. This is the left-handed podcast. And so we're actually talking to you strictly about being left-handed and if it's any effect for you. So you're a true left-handed person, right?
Yes, truly left-handed. There are some things that over time I either by default, because they didn't have left-handed, whatever, I did right-handed, but I'm not ambidextrous.
Yeah, same here. Not at all. Now, anybody in your family left-handed?
Yes, my father is left-handed.
Oh, so you do have somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
I have nobody, so that's big with me. Oh, interesting. Any siblings are left-handed or anything?
No, I'm an only.
Okay, so your father, wow, that's interesting. Did your father teach you how to tie your shoes and all that kind of stuff because he was left-handed, or no? How did you?
I don't remember. My parents were divorced when I was 1.5, and I lived with my mom. I mean, I saw my dad a bit, but I don't remember him teaching me how to tie my shoes. I do remember watching how he wrote. And it's interesting because we write very different. He writes completely sideways.
Yeah, I know people like that. Not me. I'm a regular press like this.
I turn my paper sideways and write straight. But my paper is sideways, so it's the equivalent of writing sideways.
Ah, okay. I think I've seen that. Yeah. I write like a right-handed person, but left-handed. So it's kind of like that. It's right.
Okay.
But I know I have friends who they write like this.
Oh yeah, my dad is totally a sideways, and I
can't do that.
I just turn it. So, but I do it with the left-handed.
Yes. And it's funny, right? Folks, I tell them that, they're like, I never thought of that. Because you're writing away from the ink. Yeah. We're writing over the ink.
And me in particular, because I don't like ballpoint. I like felt tip.
Oh, okay.
So I every day will have some kind of pen mark on my hand.
I got felt tip. Well, that's so funny. I'm looking at my things.
If you wrote ballpoint, you wouldn't really have that issue.
No, but you're right. I have that. Like, as I have dots on my hands already from stuff. Okay, that's interesting. They didn't recognize that today. I have ink on my hands too right now. Interesting. Yeah, and so like you said, when did you realize you were? So when did you realize, like, what age or what time period you realized that you were left-handed? Yeah, I mean, there was like that. There was a thing.
I don't necessarily remember the moment I realized, but I remember at a very early age, like kindergarten, feeling special.
Same here.
Like, some people felt like that, like they weren't like other kids. I always felt like that made me special. Like that was a good thing. And kind of, excited to, every year a new teacher, I'm left-handed,
yes.
Just because it would be unique or different.
I know. I think about kindergarten for me too. I think it was around kindergarten that I realized, because I had to sit. I remember there was one left-handed desk back in the day. Because some of us back in the day had a desk that went this way. This one went that way.
That's the kind of instance where I don't think I ever sat in a left-handed desk. I just always learned to make do, because you had the little place for your arm, right? No, I just always learned to hold my arm up, So,
but
sports, I just never, I like the being special, but I also never wanted to create the issue. So however everybody else was doing it, I would do it. So.
Well, you bring up a good point, though. Left-handed people, we naturally have to try to adapt to things. Like right people don't have to worry about that. It's just their world. We're the ones thinking about it.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of adapt to them.
Right.
You bring up a really good point about that. It's really interesting.
And that's interesting because I would think of myself as a fairly adaptable person, and I would have never said, oh, it's because I'm left-handed, but maybe it's got roots in that. And I'm always interested in people who notice. I mean, I get when other left-handed people notice, right? When you sit at a dinner table and I'm like, no, I need to sit on that side and I need to be on
oh my God, yes. Yes.
But it's amazing to me when right-handed people notice, because I don't notice what somebody is unless they bring it up. But a right-handed person will be like, oh, you're a lefty. I'm like, yeah. And they say it kind of like, what does that mean? And I think, I always love the things where they would analyze a left-handed person and, it means you're more creative and it means you're more of this. And I love that. Like,
I'm like, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, true.
Check that out. Yes, true. But no, it's funny. You're right. It's funny you say about that. I never thought about that either until you just said that. When a right-handed person does recognize I'm left-handed, it is a strange thing. But I guess because we look so different to them in a weird way, like the way we're eating or the way we're writing, they go, they say, I guess, right? I guess I don't.
And they don't look different to me. I wouldn't notice one way or the other.
No, right. Same here. That's very interesting. See, Mandy, first episode already thought-provoked already.
Yes.
And so hopefully through this podcast, I'll learn more from other people how this really kind of manifests maybe.
Now, here's a question. When you eat, obviously you eat left-handed. When you cut with a knife, do you switch and take that to your left hand?
Yeah.
Or do you cut right-handed?
I cut left-handed.
Oh, see, I cut right-handed. I do weird things. Like because the fork in my left hand.
I wish I had some knife. I'm like, no, because. Oh, you mean? Okay, no. Okay, no. I take that lie back. When I'm cutting just something for preparing food left hand. No, you're right. If I cut steak.
While you're eating, you're cutting. Okay. Sorry, I just thought that was only me. Because I've seen some people switch hands and I'm like,
They do.
I'm going to go this way to this.
That's a good question for me to ask the people coming up. Is like, when you eat, do you switch? I know folks who do switch hands. They do. Mm-hmm. They hold the fork in the right and they actually, I guess that's their dominant hand.
Yeah. Now, do you mouse left-handed?
No. That's the one thing I don't do.
Yeah, I mouse right-handed too. That's just a weird switch. Yeah. And I wouldn't know how to do it now.
I know I could either. And I know folks who mouse left-handed.
Yeah, and absolutely.
I could wow, now you got me thinking some stuff that I didn't even think about. I mean, see, that's the thing about this left-handed thing. It's like there's so much. Because I have a person coming on later this week who's talking about how he's left-handed but plays baseball and sports like a right-handed person. So we're going to talk about that. But you mentioned this little stuff like cutting your food and the mouse. Because I remember I had another left-handed person. I went to their desk when I worked in the corporate world. And I had to keep switching the mouse back over. And they kept going, but you're left-handed too, so why do you keep switching the mouse? I'm like, because I type with my left. And I'm my right. And they looked like I was crazy.
Yeah, no, I do too. And when it comes to sports, I mean, not that I'm a huge athlete by any stretch, but like when I played softball, I would rotate between the two, like whichever I felt like that day. Same with something like bowling or tennis. I'm not good at any of those things. So it's like, oh, maybe I feel better on my right hand today. Oh, no, left is feeling better today.
No, I do bowl right-handed. That's one thing I do bowl.
Okay.
But everything else, all the sports I played like a left-handed person. I batted left, kicked left, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to bowling, I'm a big bowler. I bowl right-handed.
Okay. Yeah, I would say in most sports that I've ever played, pool, I guess I'm left-handed with pool. But everything else, I will flip between the two.
I'm totally. The left hand. It's totally left-handed. I'm just right about. No, yes, it's totally left-handed. Well, for those of you listening to the podcast, not watching us, we're making moves. We're gesturing. We're gesturing.
Yeah.
We're just like, how do I do this? No, but no, yeah, I'm a left-handed person when it comes to other stuff. But right, in bowling, I am a right-handed bowler.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's probably just like where somebody who taught you and you learned it that way, and that's just where you're stronger.
When I skate, I'm talking like roller skating, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is. I lead with my left foot, my left leg, left foot.
I have never noticed which foot I lead with. And you said kick left. I don't really know. I mean, I played soccer one time. I played on one team as an adult in LA. That was
okay, that's good.
That's for another podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's all. We'll talk later about that one. Yes.
And I don't even know that I got to kick that much. So.
Wow, so funny. I mean, it's just funny because I lead with when I skate, I lead with my left to go on a skating rink. I lead, and also ice skating too. I lead with my left leg, and then I move the right, and then I go. And for some reason, I always have to lead my left.
Interesting.
Think about that next time. And I'm not a good ice skater, first of all, by any means. But I can get up there. I could do it for a little bit, but not the greatest.
I wonder. I never could. I was an okay skater, but I could never go backwards. And I wonder if you went. Oh, of course.
I was a disco skater. I was like, woo! Look at that.
I wonder if you didn't realize that I needed to be starting with another foot.
See?
Because I've always thought about I'm left-handed, not I'm left-footed.
No, that's another good point. That's another. See, oh my God, another good point. I'm writing these notes down. So, do you think about your left foot?
No. I feel like my feet are equal, but my hands are not.
That's an interesting statement. That's a very interesting statement.
Do you feel like, you know how some sides of your body are smaller or bigger or stronger? Yeah. Like my left side is completely the stronger side.
Yeah. Same here.
Okay.
Well, it's funny. When I had Bell's palsy a couple of years ago, I had a severe case. The left side of my face went paralyzed.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. So
how long did you have that?
I had it for almost 9-10 months. I had a severe case. My whole face was. It's all documented. I did my whole journey, but it was completely paralyzed. But it was my left side, not my right, and that scared me.
Only your face, like your hand was still fine.
My hand. Okay, so my face was drooping. All the nerves, my face. I basically had a stroke in my face, basically. So all of it went down. It was drooping like a pirate. I was like a pirate. It was all down, and I couldn't think clearly. My eye wouldn't close. All this stuff would happen. But this side of my body was decent. But everything's connected. There was pain. There was a little weakness. But it was mostly neck up. But there were some things that were kind of crazy. But I couldn't think clearly, so I couldn't really write anyway. So I didn't really write.
And does that just go away, or did you have to do like therapy to?
For me, some people get it and they're done in 2-3 weeks. Some people get it done in a couple months. I said I had a very severe case, so I started eating differently. I did a lot of research. I had nothing else to do. I was home. So I did a lot of research, kind of like now. I did a lot of research. I started eating certain ways. The doctor told me when it was safe for me to actually do exercises in my face. So there's a certain regimen I did every day, and just prayer and whatever. And I literally almost a year. So it was crazy. Wow. But it was my left side. Now, it always scared me. As a left-handed person, I don't want to lose anything on the left side. That's where I write and everything. And my body leads left. Everything I do is left. So I thought that was
I do too. Bangs to the left, lean to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like to sleep to my left also. I like to sleep to my left.
I'm a back sleeper.
You're a back sleeper? Okay, yeah. I'm a side sleeper. I like to sleep on my side, my left. I sleep on the right-hand side of the bed. All right, so far, this episode has been all about us bringing up all the different things that come up about left-handed people. I'm going to actually ask these questions in future episodes.
Okay, good. Good.
Because it's very interesting to think about, there's that, and there's this, there's that. Because, again, I feel like, we are the adaptable ones. I have a friend who made a left-handed friendly kitchen. I'm going to try to get her on the show so she can talk about it.
That's interesting. What specifically did she change to make it?
I saw it. I was like, when you walk in, you just know. You're like, this. It's where she placed the oven, where she placed the cabinets, where she placed the countertops. So where you place the utensils you use when you're cooking,
Interesting.
is it easier to have it on this side or this side? Left-handed person, for me, I grab with my left anyway. It was nice having the oven here, the countertop over here, and I can grab what I need to stir. And I stir with my left hand. It just was just weird. It's just weird where it was hung up.
Yeah.
You know, so things like that. The way the cabinets open, and it's just like they open, you know, this way. And I had some cabinets that opened this way, and some open this way. They all opened left-handed wise. They all opened like as a left-handed person.
Okay.
It was everything. And then the refrigerator opened for a left-hand person. It opened this way, so you grab with your left hand. Some refrigerators open this way. Like it was just very interesting the way, and the way she had it placed. So I said, I want to get her on the show so she can actually technically say better than I am.
That's really cool.
Person, I walked in, and I was like, there's something different in here. You can tell.
She was like, I did this.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She's left-handed.
Yeah. It would never occur to me to do that because I think we've all learned to adapt so well,
exactly.
right? Like it wouldn't even occur to me that was possible, but when you say it, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. I am opening my cabinets like this when really I could be opening them like that.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Well, it reminded me of cards. You know, as my friends laugh because I put my cards in a certain way, and they're like, "That's such a left-handed person." So I guess they put them in. White people put them in a certain way. I guess I've always put them in this way. I guess, and when you pull them out, like, oh, you pull them out with you have the mouth open. Normally, I guess it's the mouth is closed goes in. I don't. So there's some way I do it that they always say it's left-handed.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Interesting.
But it goes back to, like you said, I think it's the major thing is that we are the ones who have to be adaptable because most of the world is set up that way. That we have to be the ones to go, okay, well, you know, we got to do what we got to do. We can't sit around and cry about it. We have to figure it out.
Yeah. I've never heard a right person say, oh, no, I need to sit on that side of the table because I'm right-handed.
Ever.
Only a left-handed person does that.
I do it all the time. And I love when with another left-handed person, we can sit next to each other. So our elbows won't, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Class.
Exactly.
That's fine. One time I was at a table, it was like 5 of us. I'm like, where did we all come from? We're all like, wow. There's like 5 of us here. It's crazy talk. Couldn't believe that. So it's just really interesting how we kind of navigate life. Because you're right, in many ways, we don't really think about it heavily. It's just that when situations arise, I guess you can agree with me on that, then it comes up a little bit. You act accordingly, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Do you remember, I mean, I have little vague, like, recollection of learning to write, right? You know, and the teachers kind of don't know what to do with you. I mean, I have, like, little memories of, you know, and nothing really specific, but basically this idea that I was doing it different than everybody else. But that's just the way it came to me. But I think because my dad was left-handed, it was not an issue in my family. It wasn't like any, you know, you hear stories of people who are left-handed where somebody tried to break them of that.
Well, that was me too. They did it first. They tried to make me right-handed. And so both my sets of parents, I don't know, 2 parents, both my parents are right-handed. My siblings are right-handed. I have my younger brother came 3 years after me. He's left-handed. So I taught him how to tie a shoe, but I had to teach myself. I couldn't get what they were teaching me for some reason. I had to do it myself. So I figured out.
Do you loop and then tie?
No.
Okay, I tie and then loop.
Wait. Yes, I loop then tie. Yes, I do.
Okay. See, I tie first and then loop and double tie.
Ah.
You know, I see people who like make a loop,
yes.
and then tie that.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's not. I crisscross tie and then loop tie.
That's so funny. So I learned how I taught myself. I must have watched somebody because I couldn't get it. And it's almost like right now I'm learning how to crochet. And I had to find a left-handed person online because I tried with the right-handed person. They go, do the opposite. Like, that's not how our brains work.
Right. Yeah. That's like somebody in a workout class trying to say, don't do what I do the opposite.
Yeah.
No, turn around.
Right. You said it perfectly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, our brains will just do the opposite. Like I said, I'm like, no. So I found a left-handed person to do it.
That's interesting because I've always wanted to learn how to like crochet or knit or something. And I never really thought about the fact that I might have to find somebody who's left-handed.
Because you have to show you how to hold the needle or needles. Yeah, I show you how and especially if you're doing crocheting and there's one needle, you're using your left hand to do it. Your other hand is using to help hold the yarn. So you're using your left hand to thread through. So you got to use somebody who's left-handed really to show you that, so you can see exactly how it looks. That's the thing for me. It was like, now I can see how, because I'm a very visual person. So I was like, oh, I see how I'm holding I hold it like this, and then okay, and then you go this way. When the right person's doing it, like for some reason I'm not getting it. I just don't get it. And so they have left-handed people. You go on YouTube, they have left-handed folks who teach you how to do it left-handed.
Oh, I'm excited to know this.
Yes.
Maybe this will be a new hobby I take up. If we're going to be here for 3 more months, I need some hobbies.
Girl, that's what I was like. I'm right now I'm stuck on doing my chain. I finally got off to my first row. So I'm getting there, but it's not easy. But they say knitting's easier, but I haven't tried that yet. So I don't know.
No, what are you, what, a blanket, a scarf? What are you doing?
Whatever it comes out to be.
You don't know yet.
I wanted to do a vest.
Okay.
Just be different.
That's ambitious for a first.
Well, here's the funny.
I would think you'd do something straight line.
I'm James Lott Jr. I'm always ambitious. That's the problem. That's the problem. And so another thing I might do is I might learn how to look at a sewing machine. Look how cute that thing is.
It's super cute.
That baby. So I'm thinking if I can make a vest and some pants. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
You're gonna crochet your pants?
No, I'm gonna make some pants to go with the crochet.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. I
have hippie pants.
Can't wait for the next red carpet event that I see you at. I want a full crochet vest and your pants that you made.
Lot by lot. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm like, but anyway, so there's you can go online and find people who actually are left-handed, and it really does make a difference in showing you how to hold the needle, and you see a person doing it. So I was like, yeah, I can't do the opposite. I see it, but it doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't connect for me. I need a left-handed person to teach me. So my brother, I had to teach him how to tie his shoe, because everybody else was like, well, James, you make it easier. You're left-handed. So I showed him he got it, within easy. But other than that, I mean, I have a great grandmother who is ambidextrous. She was left-handed, made right, but she could do both. But on all sides of my family, no one's just left-handed. They're all right.
Yeah. I think people are one or the other, and the only reason you're ambidextrous is if somebody tried to break it, which is why sports I can play both ways, is because I was just adapted to that. Whereas writing, I was like, no, I'm lefty. That's the way I'm writing.
I know. I told people, I was like, don't try it, people. Do not try. They tried me at first. It was kindergarten, first grade, and I was like, nope, I'm left-handed. Don't try to change that. And I remember my grandmother saying, don't let them change you. Like, don't let them do that to you. Because I know left-handed's bad. And so, I'm like, it's not. It's just the way we are. I mean, we were made that way. I mean, it's like.
Yeah. We're just different and creative and unique.
Use our right brains and our right minds. So
yes, exactly.
I love that. Now, when it comes to your work, just at all, has it ever come into play at all in your work?
No, I mean, I right-handed mouse, so they've never had to switch computer for me. Other than the smears on my hand and smears on my paper, that's really it.
Yeah. Your acting stuff, anything come up? Nope.
No.
Oh, good.
I mean, I've been in scenes before. I can remember this. Just where I have to change if I'm going to handle a prop, the director says, oh, you go here and you cross and you pick this up. And I'm like, no, I'm going to need to cross like this and pick it up like this. But nothing that was weird. Just, how you sort of self-modify sometimes to get anywhere. But I don't think, I've never had anyone who said you need to play a scene right-handed, because that would be hard.
That would be hard.
So no.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, that's what I figured. I just thought I asked. People were asked that, so I just thought I asked. I'm like, I didn't think so. Like, me too. Anything I've done on set and the things. I mean, like you said, I don't have I know for me when I interview on set, I can sit on either side. It doesn't matter to me. But I do hold my paper and pen in my left hand as I'm talking to somebody. But I can do it on either side. Doesn't really bother. Doesn't matter. Doesn't.
Yeah. Well, so in my day job, I do marketing for the Tournament of Roses, and for the most part, I am, writing and doing that kind of stuff. But occasionally, I'll have to do design, and like on my laptop, I have a pad mouse, because I mouse right-handed. I Photoshop right-handed.
Oh.
So my left hand is not as sensitive when it comes to if I'm doing Photoshop or something and I'm getting really minute detail, I don't do that with my left hand. I do it with my right. But because my right is more like computer savvy.
Wow. That's
I don't know.
That's very interesting.
Some graphic designers use a pen, like a mouse pen, you know?
Yeah.
I can't do that because I would need to hold the pen with my left hand, but
Oh.
I mouse right-handed. So I have to use the finger pad.
That's you're right. You're right. If you have once you get a pen in your hands, it's left-handed, obviously.
I got to be left-handed for that, but I can't use that with a mouse. So anyway, yeah, those are the only things I've ever noticed work-wise, other than just, you know, people commenting. And, you know, I've always seen it as, I think there must be, I'm sure, people who had a hard time or who didn't like it, but I've always seen it as like a sense of pride. Yeah, I'm a lefty.
Well, me too. That's why I think it's going to be interesting to do this podcast. I want to hear everybody's experience, and I'm really curious to hear as I go through this. You're my first guest, but as they go through this, that's what I'm hoping to learn something. Like today, I literally have learned something, Mandy, from you. I'm just thinking about these different things, and this is a good jumping off point for the series. Like these are questions I'm going to ask people and be like, "You ever think about this?" I'll see what they come up with. They may have more things to come up with that we didn't think about either.
I'm interested when this comes out and when I can see sort of all of it, what the career path, if there's any trend in the careers of people, right?
Me too. I have a feeling it's a lot of creatives. I have a feeling.
Yeah, and I think so too. And a lot of, like, you and I, our hands are in a lot of pots. I mean, for me, creativity isn't just like an acting thing or a designing thing. It's an every aspect of my life thing.
Me too.
Right?
Me too.
Hence you're crocheting your own vest. But I'm interested to see if other people are that way too. Like, or do you have a scientist somewhere in the mix? Because, you know.
Ooh, I might know somebody who's a scientist. I wonder if he's left-handed. That's a good question.
I just would be interested to see if there's a trend there. Like,
because I am opening it up. I said to anybody. I mean, of the 7 guests, they're all very different in what they do. But some of them I do know they are creative folks. I'm just wondering if that's an aspect because we're using our right brain.
Or if it's an aspect of the circle that you have.
That too.
Right.
But I'm interviewing a couple people I don't know. 2 people are coming on. They follow me online, but I don't know them.
Right.
So I'll be curious to see what they have to say.
Are you going to air this as one thing or a series?
Well, it's going to be a series. It's going to be a series of podcasts. You have your own podcast. I already did one announcement.
My star of my own thing.
You star your own thing, girlfriend. So I already did one announcement podcast the other day, and that's out there right now. So then I'll air this later this week. It'll be just you. And then I'm going to do this as a series. Like I really do want to keep it all standalone. And I think it's different enough. I don't think there's any other left-handed podcasts out there, first of all. And it's going to be different enough that for those who may know you from the Bay and go, oh, this is a different kind of interview. It's not just about her career. I mean, we can talk about your career all day long. I mean, all about your things you've done there. It's fine. But it's like, this is something different.
We'd run out of things there. Well, you know, when you started, you said you had a left-handed mug. And I was like, how is a left-handed mug any different? And then I realized, wait a second. I have mugs that have like sayings on them. And if I want that to be forward-facing, I have to drink with my right hand. Never noticed it.
Isn't that funny? Well, seriously. I mean, that's what it is. And I posted this the other day. I'm going to show it to you, girl. Your mind's going to be blown. So in San Francisco is a left-handed store. And so my sister went there and got me left-handed notebooks that open up a different way. So you write, so your hands, you write a different way. So I posted this on TikTok, and it's at almost 1 million views. Just this, showing this. It's a left-handed notebook. So that's the back, and this is the front. So it's actually, it seems like mirror, but if you see it in person, it's left.
I totally get it. I'm gonna look for this store online. A left-handed notebook. I mean, it's not gonna stop my smear, but
no.
But
it's interesting. Like when you go, okay, so you go to write, it's on that side. So you can start the whole, so you just kind of, but it's just interesting. Then in other notebooks, it's the other way around, and the hole's on the inside. I mean, it's just very different. And so it's college rule. It says, I may be left-handed, but I'm always right. And everyone is born right-handed, only the greatest overcome it. It's like cute little sayings, which you would get.
I love it.
But seriously, I posted that, and it's almost at 1 million views. It's the craziest thing. So I'm like, there's something to this left-handed club, I think. And that's what I said. I want to keep it all separate series, so people go, oh, Michelle Stafford, and oh, what kind of interview is? Well, it's an interview about her being left-handed, not her about her career. Like we've talked about it.
I love that.
And all stuff, but it's like it's a different side of people that no one's talking about. So I'm like, why not talk about it? You know,
Yeah.
when I had Bell's palsy, I decided I didn't do this as a series. I'm not how much I did, but I did a few episodes where I talked to a couple of people in the business who've had Bell's palsy. Freddie Smith from Days of Our Lives, my friend who's a violinist. We talked about it. And I said, I just want to talk to you about, I want to talk about your career, but I want to talk about your Bell's palsy. And we did. And I was like, I should have started a Bell's palsy podcast, but I didn't do that.
Wow.
But this was the one I was like,
I didn't know Freddie Smith had that.
He was actually, it was 2014. I remember seeing him on TV, and he couldn't smile for like a couple episodes. He couldn't smile, and he talks about that whole time period because he was just coming back from it a little bit, and he decided to push through it and do these scenes. He goes, I had to tell everybody, I can't smile, my face is pale, I can't do anything, but he still was able to act the emotions out. But it was just very interesting. But he had Bell's palsy. He told me the whole story. He was on a plane going to New York on an event, and his face just went paralyzed on the plane. So yeah, so he recovered. So yeah, so it's just funny that this left-handed thing was more of like this is unique. Who knows? It could be a thing. It's unique. And then show people and other sides of people that no one really talks about. It's just like, we're left-handed. And I said, this could be an ongoing thing. It could be 7 episodes. I don't know. I'm going to see how it is. I'm just going to keep releasing them, putting them out there, see what kind of views and stuff I get out of them, and then and keep going.
Yeah, I love it. I'm interested to see what sort of adaptations people have made that we might not even realize we're making.
Exactly.
Where like just how we put things on, or buttons, the way clothes are made,
How we open doors, how we get in the car, how we reach for things. I mean, I'm noticing stuff all the time. How you hang things up, how you want to look. How do you look? Do you look from left to right? Do you look from right to left? You brought up a good point about the whole feet. I guess you never think that. You always think about your hands, but you think of your feet as being,
But really, you're left side dominant. So really, your feet too. I just have always thought about it limited to my hands, but it's not.
Me too. But I just knew that I do lead with my left a lot of times. I do kick with my left. I just knew that. But you just saying that though made me think even deeper about that. Going, well, that's an interesting thought. I mean, it should go hand in hand or hand and foot. It should go hand. It should really
hand and foot.
So it should go that way in a way.
I need to ask my dad too. He's got one eye that his vision is really bad in, and the other one is really strong. And I wonder if it's left eye strong. I'll have to ask him.
You have to DM me, or so you have to let me know, girl. now you got to be curious.
Yeah, it would just be interesting if everything followed suit. That your vision, because so many people, their eyes are different, their ears are different in terms of hearing. Interesting. Huh.
My left ear is more sensitive. I can tell that. My right ear. That's before Bell's palsy. I mean, because I used to wear a lot of headphones in the studio, and I was like, oh, it's my left ear is the one that's a little more sensitive. Okay, got it. A little more sensitive.
Why is that doing? Sorry.
Come on.
All the devices.
Picture. It's a lovely picture.
Thank you.
But Mandy, thanks for being on the show. I mean, seriously, you actually were the greatest person to start out this podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what comes of it. And I look forward to future left-handed conversations. You should start left-handed, like Diners Club or, book club or something where, left-handed mixer.
Well, that's good. That's a good one. Oh my God, girl, that's a good one. We could do on Zoom and stuff.
Right.
I like that idea. I think I'm gonna do something with that. But I wanted to say, I'm gonna tell you. So later on in the series, we're gonna come back together after we've listened to all these, because you're my first. Maybe the anniversary. Maybe I'll be like, it's my 20th episode or my 50th episode, and then you'll have to come back on and we'll talk about kind of what we found.
Okay. I'm excited. It's a date. I love it.
Tell folks where they can find you online, girl.
Say that again.
Tell folks where they can find you on the social media.
Oh, you can find me at Mandy Denaux on Instagram and at Mandy LD on Twitter.
Very good, folks. And this is a podcast now. It's a new podcast. This is new. We are on Spreaker.com, and I just actually got us on several platforms. Let me read them to you. I just got the list. We are now on Spotify. We are on Deezer. We are on Podcast Addict and Podchaser. So I just applied for Apple and Pandora. I applied for the others, but we just started. So we're slowly getting them going. But those are the ones we're on. So we're on Spotify. look under Left-Handed with a Lot to Say. And Mandy Denaux will be the one that will be in the
Woohoo!
this one.
I'll be the first.
Yes, and they're also on YouTube. It'll be on JLJ Media on YouTube under Left-Handed with a Lot to Say playlist. It'll be on there, and she'll be episode number 1. Everybody, thank you for watching this. If you're watching this or listening to this, if you're listening to this, and please stay safe and sane. If you know any left-handed people want to be on the show, get into contact with me at James Lott Jr. everywhere. Bye.